What's up, YouTube? It is your boys, Neil
and Thad.
So today we're just going to tell you why we wish we were Habesha, why we wish we would have grown up in the Ethiopian community, and the differences between the Ethiopian community and the African American community, and why we think that the Ethiopian community, the Habesha community, is just so great. Okay, first off, I want to say that what we've noticed from our personal experiences is that the Habesha community, the Ethiopian community, the Tigray community that we've had experience with is that they do everything out of love, right? They raise their young out of love. It's like a whole village who take care of their children. In contrast, when the African American community, you don't get that. You get people just doing kids any kind of way. I've been bullied by my own teachers, and I've been bullied by the students. I'm talking about growing up as a youngin'. I've been mistreated by people within my neighborhood just by being a kid. Okay, so even though I've had an abundance of love within my household, especially from my mom, when I went outside of the house, I've been treated differently. I've been treated in a way that is not conducive for a young child's development. And I would say as we get older, you get a lot of peer pressure to do the wrong thing, to be a thug, to get tattoos, to sag your pants, to, be a criminal. And I would say that it's kind of odd because even though we grew up within a community like that, me and my brother, we have a clean slate. We don't even have a speeding ticket, right? We have clean records. We've never been to jail. We don't even jaywalk. So that is an anomaly. And within the African American community, you would be considered a lame. Now, when it comes to women, young girls, you're being convinced to be loose, convinced to have sex out of wedlock, all of those things, which is not conducive for a healthy young girl or a healthy community. It's not conducive for childhood development. And you see a lot of these problems arise when you have single mother households. Not saying that that isn't happening in other communities, but it is in an abundance within the African American community. Just single mother households, young boys and girls being raised by one mother who's trying to do the best she can or isn't trying to do the best she can. And you see father and son going to prison with each other, mother and daughter going to prison with each other. And it's just ridiculous. You see whole generations of people in jail. Okay. And I would say that even though we were raised with love, we don't really keep in touch with the majority of our family members because they're all on that type of mentality. They're all on a negative wavelength. They don't really have God within their hearts. They say they believe in God, but they don't act as if they do.
Absolutely. They don't even value God a lot of the times, and they don't have a sense of family or urgency or sense of time and things that a village can teach you, things that a community can teach you, even if one parent is there or two parents is there. You especially don't get if there's one. But even then, you can't even get certain things unless you do have a whole community, because humans are naturally drawn to live in communities and tribes and things like that. There's some things in the African American community that's distinctly African, like attitudes towards certain behaviors or lifestyles. But by and large, many of the other good stuff isn't there. That's a key issue that's driving stuff up like crime, that's driving stuff up like out of wedlock births and lack of education. Those things are created by a no sense of self and no sense of community. Years and decades ago, we had that. But now that you see what happens when you don't have it, you get everything's all topsy-turvy.
And to this point, you have some people who grew up within communities that stuck together and they decide to leave because they take for granted what they have. You don't know what you have until it's gone. I firmly believe within that statement. At our church that we go to, a lot of young people, when they get older, they leave. And we've actually talked to a deacon who said that people get converted and leave. They don't really follow the faith anymore. And I just think that when you've actually been raised in that community, a lot of times you just don't really appreciate it as much. But since we've came from a background where a lot of people are like wolves, it's a dog-eat-dog world, experiencing what we experience within the Habesha community actually makes us more grateful. That's not to say that had we grown up within a community like that, we wouldn't be better off, because I truly believe that we would have been. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. Ciao.
Ciao.